Welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to Mysteries from Beyond the Other Dominion, and now the realm of bizarre news, including a woman who eats dirt. Roll tape.
Now it's time for the realm of bizarre news, but first, the trivia question of the day. Let me extricate here from its paper prison. The question: the very first cookbook was written by a scholar from which ancient civilization? It's multiple choice, inverse alphabetical order. Was it from a Sumerian, Roman, Hebraic, Greek, Egyptian, Babylonian, or Assyrian? Now the only prize for the correct answer is one pat on the back that you'll have to administer to yourself. If you want $1 million, call Meredith Vieira. But please do not call us. We do not have any operators to take your calls. If we did, we still could not afford prizes. I'll take a sip of water and be back momentarily with the correct answer. Okay. I'm already calling time here, and here are the 7 possibilities. Which society gave us the very first cookbook? Was it Sumerian, Roman, Hebraic, Greek, Egyptian, Babylonian, or Assyrian? And is that your final answer, Egyptian? No, it was Greek. It's actually a Greek poet. Archaeostratus, in the 4th century BC, has worked the art of cooking in which all the recipes were in rhyme. Indeed, at that time, the Greeks felt that a poet was more highly regaled if he would create a new recipe rather than a new poem. Now, speaking of eating, there is a woman in China, 78 years young, who since age 8 has been consuming dirt on a virtually daily basis. It's estimated she's now consumed some 10 tons of dirt in her lifetime, and she appears to be in perfect health. Indeed, she says the only time she feels bad is when she hasn't eaten dirt. How about that? Now we have a coffin. Recently, in Berlin, Germany, a hearse was driving along the motorway when it hit a bump. The back door opened out, the coffin fell out, and the body within spilled on the motorway. Everyone shocked, and then to add insult to injury, a bag of coffin nails also was spilled out, causing several motorists to have flat tires. And now for the case of the hungry grave. In Stankova, in the Czech Republic, a funeral was taking place. The mortician was one of the pallbearers, and as they approached the grave for the dear departed, he tripped and fell right into the open grave. That caused the other pallbearers to stumble, and they dropped the coffin right on him. Fortunately, it missed his noggin, hit him in the chest. He was taken to the hospital. He's all right, and the dear departed properly buried. Perhaps the most unusual funeral on record, the case of the hungry grave. Now we have a pair of house keys here. This refers to a man in Romania, in Cebu, who was granted a divorce from his wife. But the court awarded her the furniture, and he didn't want her to have it. So you know what he did? He stood up for all men. He swallowed the house keys. Now doctors have warned him that he could develop fatal peritonitis if they're not surgically removed, but he's not relenting. He doesn't want her getting the furniture, standing up for all men's rights. And on the distaff side, recently in China, they telecast for the first time the Miss World pageant being held in Henan, China. One man was oogling all the glamorous gals. His wife had just prepared him a delicious dinner. He wasn't paying her any heed. He was watching the glamour gals. So you know what she did to get his attention? She picked up a chair and slammed it into the TV. Yes, and got his attention, standing up for all women's rights. Now we have the case of a good and a bad fish story. In Brussels, Belgium, an ex-fireman was attending a party when his wife noticed that a koi in a pond had suddenly stopped moving. Koi, of course, is a striped bass, very beautiful fish. He went over. He thought it might have suffered a heart attack, so he began administering heart massage to its chest, and then also CPR, yes, mouth-to-mouth resuscitation to a fish, the kiss of life, and he revived it, and the koi is back frolicking in its pond. Now for the bad fish story. A man in Windsor, England, was fishing off the Thames. He landed a barbel. That's a 3.5-pound fish, very strong. The barbel would not come in. He was pulling on the man. The man was pulling. Finally, the barbel pulled the man into the Thames, and he drowned. Yes. And now, There's a very talented woman down in Charleston, South Carolina, the TP sculptor. She is actually creating sculptures of Fort Sumter, made out of TP, a cougar, and even a house. Yes. Now, there's something I might be able to do. I'm never very good at art, but stacking TP might be my forte. Let's try this. I'm going to try to create the Eiffel Tower. Let's see. Do you see it? Does that not look like the Eiffel Tower?
That doesn't look like the Eiffel Tower.
It doesn't. Well, take that. And that concludes this edition of the Realm of Bizarre News.
Now, until next time, may the power of the cosmos and of the Eiffel Tower be with you. Yes, yes, yes.